NIOS சீனியர் செகண்டரி மாணவர்களுக்கு வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு வீடியோவில் நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற சப்ஜெக்ட் பயாலஜி, சப்ஜெக்ட் கோட் 314. 2021 ஏப்ரல் பேட்சோடைய கொஷின் பேப்பர் தான் இது. இதுக்கான ஆன்சர்ஸ் தான் நான் உங்களுக்காக இந்த வீடியோவில் கொண்டு வந்திருக்கேன். வாங்க நம்ம வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகலாம். Which of the following is an initiation codon? Option C, AUG. Approximately how many bacteria can be obtained from one bacterium in an hour under favorable conditions? Option B, 8. Hypervitaminosis is caused due to excessive intake of which of the following? Option A, vitamin D. Water chestnut shows two different types of leaves on the same plant. This condition is known as option D, heterophyly. For which of the following diseases bioengineered vaccine has not been developed? Option C, herpes. Apomixis is option C, development of plants without fusion of gametes. Which of the following is an amphibian? Option A, salamander. Name the phenomenon which makes it difficult to close a wooden door after monsoon. Option D, imbibition. State any two adaptations found in plants to reduce transpiration. Answer: two adaptations found in plants to reduce transpiration are leaves covered by thick cuticle. In evergreen plants like the banyan, the leaves remain covered by thick waxy cuticle. It reduces the rate of transpiration. Fewer number of stomata. The distribution of stomata greatly reduces the rate of transpiration. Next question. Draw a neat and labeled diagram of the androecium and gynoecium in an angiosperm flower. அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் நீங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி வரைஞ்சி லேபிள் பண்ணுங்க. அடுத்தது next question. Name the two basic strategies for conservation of biodiversity and define them with suitable examples. Answer: in situ and ex situ are two different ways of biodiversity conservation. In situ conservation: when we conserve and protect the whole ecosystem, its biodiversity at all levels is protected. We save the entire forest to save the tiger. This is called in situ conservation. Example: biosphere reserves, national parks and biodiversity hotspots. Ex situ conservation: when there are situations where an animal or plant is endangered or threatened, and needs urgent measures to save it from extinction, is called ex situ conservation. Example: zoological parks, botanical garden and wildlife safari. Next question. Draw a neat diagram of the male reproductive system of a cockroach. Label tests and ejaculatory duct in it. அதுக்கு இந்த டயக்ராம் தான். இதை வரைஞ்சி இந்த மாதிரி லேபிள் பண்ணிடுங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஷின். டிஸ்டிங்விஷ் பிட்வீன் ஆக்டிவ்லி அக்வயர்டு இம்யூனிட்டி அண்ட் பாசிவ்லி அக்யூர்டு இம்யூனிட்டி. டிஸ்டிங்விஷ் அப்படின்னு கேட்டாலே நீங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி மெத்தடில் எழுதுங்க. ஸோ given below difference between actively acquired immunity and passively acquired immunity. Actively acquired immunity: it occurs when our own immune system is responsible for protecting us from a pathogen. Passively acquired immunity: it occurs when we are protected from a pathogen by immunity gained from someone else. What is a food chain? Give a suitable example. What are different steps of a food chain known as? Answer. The definition of a food chain is a system where a small animal is the food for a larger animal, which in turn is the food for an even larger animal. Example, a fly being eaten by a frog and then the frog is eaten by a snake. The different steps of a food chain is known as trophic levels. Explain Cran's anatomy. Answer. Cran's anatomy is a specialized structure in C4 plants where the mesophyll cells are clustered around the bundle sheath cells in a ring-like fashion. The number of chloroplasts in the bundle sheath cells is more than that in the mesophyll cells. This is found in C4 grasses such as maize and a few dicots. Next question. Mention any two functions of auxin. Which two hormones are essential for vascular tissue differentiation? Answer. Auxins are responsible for causing phototrophism and geotrophism and hydrotrophism. Answer. Auxin and cytokinin have been considered essential for vascular tissue differentiation. State any four reasons for the degradation of water. The reasons for the degradation of waters are improper sewage disposal, oil spills, chemical waste dumping, fertilizer runoff. Next question. Distinguish between multiple alleles and condominants giving suitable examples. Answer. Difference between multiple alleles and codominants are given below. Codominance. It is the condition where offspring receives a mixture of characteristics of both parental genes irrespective of dominant or recessive genes. Multiple alleles. It is the three or more than three different alleles that a particular trait has. Distinguish between a tendon and a ligament. Difference between a tendon and a ligament are given below. Tendons connect skeletal muscles to bones. It is formed of white fibrous connective tissue, tough and non-flexible. Each muscle contains only one tendon. Ligaments connects bone to bone. It is formed of yellow fibrous tissue, elastic and flexible. Each joint contains many ligaments. List any three advantages of biodiesel. Name a common petroplant. Three advantages of biodiesel are produced from renewable resources, biodegradable and non-toxic, less greenhouse gas emissions. Pedilanthus macrocorpus is a common petroplant. With the help of a flowchart, explain the chromosomal basis of sex determination in humans. Answer. In the human being, the chromosomal mechanism of sex determination is of XXXY type. In human, the nucleus of each cell contains 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes of body characters and one pair is of sex chromosomes. இதுதான் அதோடைய ஃப்ளோ சார்ட். இந்த ஃப்ளோ சார்ட் பார்த்து நீங்கள் அப்படியே வரைஞ்சிக்கோங்க. Draw neat and labeled diagram of stamens in pea plant, moss plant with a sporophyte. அப்படி கேட்டால் இப்படி வரைஞ்சி லேபிள் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகேவா? நெக்ஸ்ட், what do you understand by a balanced diet? What special diet is recommended for a pregnant woman and why? Answer. A balanced diet is one that fulfills all of a person's nutritional needs. Humans need a certain amount of calories and nutrients to stay healthy. A balanced diet provides all the nutrients a person requires. without going over the recommended daily calorie intake. A pregnant woman needs special diet to feed the developing fetus. A nursing mother requires a special diet for lactation. Question: how are the heart sounds lup and dup produced during heartbeat? What is the role of SA node, sinoatrial node, in the heart? Where is it situated? Answer: the heart tone lup or S1 is caused by the closure of the mitral and tricuspid atrioventricular AV valves at the beginning of ventricular systole. The heart tone dub or S2 is caused by the closure of the aortic valve and pulmonary valve at the end of the ventricular systole. An electrical stimulus is generated by the sinus node, that is, the sinoatrial node. This is a small mass of specialized tissue located in the right upper chamber atria of the heart. The sinus node generates an electrical stimulus regularly, 60 to 100 times per minute under normal condition. Draw a diagrammatic representation of an antibody. இதுதான் representation of an antibody. இதை வரைஞ்சி இந்த மாதிரி லேபிள் பண்ணிடுங்க. Next, define the terms immunity, genetic engineering. Answer: immunity is the ability of an individual to recognize the self molecules that make up one's own body and to distinguish them from such non-self molecules as these found in infectious microorganisms and toxins. Genetic engineering. It is the method of DNA recombinant technology. It is also called gene technology. It involves isolation, addition, deletion, or repair of genetic material into one or more organism. It changes the phenotype of the organism. What do you understand by the following terms? Implantation. Implantation. It is the attachment of blastocyst to the uterine wall or endometrium. Colostrum. Colostrum. It is the first stage of breast milk. It develops during pregnancy and lasts for several days after birth. It is yellow and thick in consistency. Artificial insemination. Artificial insemination. The human semen is frozen using liquid nitrogen stored in sperm banks for many years without losing its fertile conditions, thawed, introduced into a woman's reproductive tract syringe during. It is artificial insemination. Name the hormone produced by the placenta. அதுக்கு answer estrogen, responsible for uterine contractions of childbirth. Oxytocin. Mention any two special features of the meristematic cells and also mention any two locations they are present. Answer: meristematic cells are actively dividing cells. They are made up of undifferentiated cells and they are living cells. Apical, intercalary and lateral. They are present on the root tip and shoot tip in the growing plant. Name the complex tissue of plants and state their main function. Answer: the complex tissues of plants are known as xylem and phloem. Their main functions are transporting water, organic material and minerals. Give two suitable examples of each of the following. Plasma protein. Plasma protein, it is present in blood. Examples are albumin and fibrogen. Contractile protein. It is present in muscle, helps to movement. Examples are actin and myosin. What is legomoglobin and where it is present? State the role it played in N2 fixation. Answer. In legumes, nitrogen fixation occurs in specialized bodies called root nodules. The nodules develop due to interaction between the bacteria Rhizobium and the legume roots. Legume nodules possesses special protein called legumoglobin. During N2 fixation, function of legumoglobin is to act as oxygen scavenger. It converts N2 into NH3. Give the overall general chemical equation of photosynthesis. இதுதான் chemical equation of photosynthesis. இது கண்டிப்பாக இந்த கொஷின் வரதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு 75% இருக்குது. ஸோ இந்த chemical equationனை படித்து வச்சுக்கோங்க. By the help of an appropriate example, briefly explain the law of limiting factor. Answer. If a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. It is the factor which directly affects the process if this quantity is changed. For example, light intensity supplied into a leaf is just sufficient to utilize 5 mg of CO2 per hour in photosynthesis. As the CO2 supply is increased, the rate also increases to 5 mg of CO2 enters the leaf per hour. After that, any further increase in the supply of CO2 does not have any effect on the rate. Light has now become the limiting factor, and further increase in the rate of photosynthesis will occur only by increasing the intensity of light. Draw a neat diagram of the double helical structure of DNA. அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் நீங்கள் இப்படி ட்ரா பண்ணி இதெல்லாம் லேபிள் பண்ணணும். ஓகேவா? நெக்ஸ்ட், who proposed this structure? This structure was proposed by Watson and Crick. Next question, draw a diagrammatic representation of a RNA showing anticodon and codon pairing. அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் நீங்கள் இதை ட்ரா பண்ணணும். Draw a neat diagram to show the location of the 8 principal endocrine gland in the human body. அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் இதெல்லாம் 6 marks question. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் கண்டிப்பாக படித்து வச்சுக்கோங்க. இப்படி ட்ரா பண்ணி லேபிள் பண்ணணும். Next question, state any 4 significance of transpiration. Answer, transpiration is generally helpful for the conduction of water and nutrients in the plants. Transpiration helps to maintain the water balance as there is absorption and elimination. Transpiration helps the cells to maintain osmosis so the cells are rigid. Maintaining a cool effect by taking up the heat of the plant and converting the water to water vapor, which is given off during transpiration. Differentiate between tropic movement, nosttic movement. Tropic movement. Movements occurs in response to external stimuli. Geotrophism, stimulus is gravity. Plant remain fixed by its parts, move in response to a stimulus. Nosttic movement, induced by stimuli. Flowers of Patulus bloom in daytime, stimulus is day length. Direction of the movement of an organ remain fixed, stimulus can came from any direction. Draw neat and label diagram to mushroom கேட்டால் இந்த மாதிரி ட்ரா பண்ணி லேபிள் பண்ணுங்க. அப்புறம் வெனிஷன் இன் டைகாட் அண்ட் மோனோகாட் லீவ்ஸ்ன்னு கேட்டால் இந்த மாதிரி ட்ரா பண்ணி காட்டுங்க. இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும்னு நம்புகிறேன். தொடர்ந்து இந்த மாதிரி வீடியோஸை நீங்கள் பார்க்க எங்கள் சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். நன்றி.